team for inviting me, and all of you for making it through on a Saturday afternoon, early evening, depending on where you are. So I'm Velu Saboya. I'm a developer advocate at AWS, and I've been working with the community a lot with the community in Kenya, but the community throughout sub-Saharan Africa as well for well over 4 years now. And it's been great to see the growth of the community and everything that all of you have been building. We're talking with the leaders of this specific group earlier, maybe close to end of last year, about the need for the community to focus more on building hands-on. And especially with the focus on generative AI as well, we want to move towards maybe introducing a lot of that into the community. This does not have to be the only user group. If you're leading another user group somewhere else and you want to introduce more hands-on though, definitely let's have a conversation. So today we said what we will do. I think you saw the headline of today's. It's a hands-on, so it is pair programming with Amazon Q in the command line. And what we will be doing is to build hands-on. Before we start, can I ask how many of us on the call are near a laptop that has internet where you'll be able to build? I just want to get an idea of how many people can actually build today. Just say in the chat, you can just put 1 or 2 or your name or whatever you want to say in the chat if you are ready to build today. Great, I see a few people are, which is great. Okay, that's amazing. So I want to also try something new as well. So I'm going to ask another question, and if you know the answer, please unmute yourself or put your hand up, and because I want to hear vocally the response to this. How many of us on the call have heard about the AWS's culture of reading documents, or doc writing and doc reads are what we usually talk about? How many of you have heard about it? If you're going to say you've heard about it, I'm going to ask you to explain to us what you understand about it. Jeff Bezos used to talk about this quite a lot before he stepped down as the chairman. Does anyone know? Put your hand up if you've heard of AWS's doc reads. Okay, no one. Okay. So this is what happens internally at AWS. When there is an internal meeting, we don't do PowerPoints and present to everyone that's sitting in that meeting. We share documents. So your thoughts or whatever you want to communicate, you will write in a doc, like could be like a Google Doc, but we've got an internal doc that we use. You write all your thoughts there, and then you will share the link to the document when you maybe when you're setting up the meeting call. But you don't expect them to read that document until they get to the meeting, because the understanding is that people have got other things going on. They don't have time to go offline and read your documentation. So then when the meeting starts, the first 10 or 20 minutes, depending on how long the document is dedicated to reading that document. When you read the document, it's already with the view that you will contribute what you think. So you read the document and there'll be, like you would with a Google Doc, there'll be comments where you will comment and you'll say what you think, you reading the document. Now, as everyone is quiet reading in that first 10, 20 minutes, cameras go off and we go on mute, and then we read the doc, we start to comment. Then when that time is up, everyone comes back on camera, and then we'll discuss what we understood about the document. If you ever work for Amazon one day, that's how things are done. When you come to a meeting, no one is going to do a PowerPoint. I think it's a great way because it takes away you being passive. So you can actually actively participate in that meeting. It's a tip for you to think about. I think you could implement it where you work as well. Writing documents has helped me quite a lot in being able to be a lot clearer about how I communicate my thinking. We underestimate how much we don't understand even what we think we know, what we want to communicate. until you have to write it down in a document, because you write it and then there's iteration and people ask you questions, and it can be very soul destroying. So you need to be prepared to have people criticize you, and you have to go back and rewrite that document. Usually by the time it's finalized, you have what, 20 versions of it. Yeah, it's a doc read. I see Kevin, yes, that's it. That's it, doc read. You could try this where you work. I do it now to communicate with most people that I need to communicate things with. It is so helpful. It's a nice way of you just documenting your things as well. So at work, you could have like a folder where you just save all your documents, and that's what you do. That's what you use to communicate. I think a place like Amazon had to come up with a strategy like that because we're so dispersed. But it's great. It's a great way for you to understand your thinking. A lot of people come with an idea and they've got an idea of something they want to build. And until that iteration, then you realize that maybe it's not too practical. Or maybe it's not, maybe I need to go back and think about it. It's a great way. So when I try that today, what we're going to look at today, I don't want to explain it to you. I don't want to do a PowerPoint read. I don't want to do a PowerPoint. I don't want to present anything here. I want us to first go and read about what we will be doing later on, and then I'll give you time. And then when we come back online, or you can stay on the call. I mean, if you were off at Amazon, everyone, you don't join meetings like this where you're not on camera, but I get it. So we would have been all off camera to read, and then coming back is everyone coming back on camera. And depending on if you want to say something, then it's hands up, people who want to contribute. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes to just go read this doc that explains Amazon Q. You can read about Amazon Q Developer on there, read the introduction on Amazon Q Developer, and also read the part about Amazon Q for command line. I will give you 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes is, okay, I'm looking at this doc that I'm going to share with you. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do 20 minutes because the actual build should take us another, we've got an hour at the line.
Yes, we have one.
It's a meetup for an hour. Okay, so we've got 45 minutes now. I will give you 20 minutes to read, and read it slowly so that you've got questions to ask me. You don't have to click on the links that are in the document. Just read the document as it is. And then 20 minutes, we're going to come back, and then you can ask me your questions that you have. And then I will do a demo of me building something. And by then, you will also be ready to build yourself. So we could all just build at the same time. So I want to make sure that we have, I'm sharing it here in the chat. This is exactly how we would do it at Amazon. You would, in the chat on the meeting, you would then go and paste the link. And then I'm saying 20 minutes. It's now, we'll be back at 4:35. It's 3:15 on my side. I'll be back 3:45. No, 3:35. 35. We all come back and then we'll discuss the document that I just shared with you. So I've just shared the link. All click on that and read. Make your notes on the side if you want to do that so that you know what questions to ask me once you're done. So read it slowly. You've got 20 minutes. So read from the first point where it says, what is Amazon Q Developer? And the last place that you will stop reading is just before the using chat. So read from what is Amazon Q Developer to the on your command line and everything that's underneath on your command line. Don't read the using chat. Just read everything just before. I think so. Yeah. Okay. Just read that and then let's come back. Okay. Just a quick time check. If you're done, you can just let us know in the chat so that we can track how far everyone is. Okay, we've got 1 more minute. Okay, we are on time. Usually, with the meeting internally, would be given the opportunity to extend if you want to extend. But because we want to also build here in person, I think let's start. And anyone who wants to continue reading, you can just do that in your own time. And if you've got any questions, you can let me know maybe on social media or let us know as we're building here. I know that some of you have laptops and you can build hands-on today. But before we start, can I ask first, what did you think about this method where you read the document instead of me presenting it to you? If anyone wants to share whether that worked better for them, you can just unmute or put your hand up, whatever you want to do, and just let us know. What did you think of this method of reading? Okay, I see people are done reading. So what did you think? So let me know. Who wants to
Hi,
go?
hi, Boya.
Yes. Hello.
My name is Moiruri.
Hi, Mururi.
I think this is a very good way to like bring up to speed everyone because for some probably situations maybe unforeseen for someone may not have actually read maybe what will be discussed prior to the meeting, but this is an excellent way to ensure that now you actually are moving together with everyone and everyone can actually make genuine inputs into
Mhm.
whatever it is that is happening. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for that. Anyone else? Just one more before we move on to the build. Okay, okay, let me share my screen because we don't have a lot of time. I'm just gonna show a very few features of CLI so that I can give you time to start building. You may not finish in there. You're probably gonna have 10 minutes to build yourself. You may not finish, and that's okay. I would love to hear after you've built what you think. And then I see there's a no credits for the pro version, not yet. I see a question from Simi on the chat. So about the billing, no credits for the pro version. That's why we're using the free tier here. Free tier should be enough to cover a lot of what you need. Anyone else with questions after reading the doc? Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so you've all caught up. You read about Amazon Q Developer and you read about Amazon Q CLI. So working with Amazon Q in your command line in your local environment. And when QCLI was introduced, what we really picked up was the difference is that it's a lot faster. And what's great is that you can use that from your command line. So you don't need to have an IDE where you now need to install the extension of Amazon Q in the IDE. You install Q in your local environment, and then you can get going from then on. It works for Mac OS, and if you are on Windows, you don't have a native version of QCLI. So you first need to install the Whistle, the Windows what is it Whistle, and then from there you then install Amazon Q, and then you can get started. I'm on Windows, so I first installed this the Whistle, and then there I then installed QCLI. When you go through the doc again, you will see the instructions. I think we've gone through them quite a bit. I think they've really helped, especially in the documentation, to make sure that the instructions are quite clear. If you follow them and you just take your time, you should be able to get going. So I've been doing this quite a lot where I'm building, I think of any application that I want to build and I build it and then I see what I get. I was in London this past week for the summit, and then I stayed on to record some content for our YouTube channel. And one of the content I recorded is actually this. So, with the cameras rolling, I was building hands-on. I built an app that teaches me. I think I talked about it on LinkedIn a few weeks ago. That teaches me how to play chess. I don't have front end knowledge at all of that tech stack. I was a back end developer back when I still used to write code full time. And what's been powerful for me is how I can think of an app and build it. And Q keeps me in the loop, keeps me updated with what's going on. I can ask questions, I can troubleshoot, all of that without using QCLI. So I want to show you quickly how to get started so that you can go then in your own time and see what you can build, see what's possible. And that's the whole idea of this, just seeing the art of the possible. So I'm just thinking, what app am I going to build now? Let me build just a quick app that's going to calculate age. So the app must allow me to allow the person to enter their birth date, and then it must let them know how old they are. So I'm going to start using natural language English. That's what we're going to use today. I'm going to ask you what I want to build. And then I'll just step through some of the features with you as it runs. You all can see, right? You can see my screen.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay. So I'm typing, give me code to build a web application that accepts a full birthday, then calculates and displays the age of the person. The back end must be in Python. And then I'm going to start. I've pressed enter, and then the LLM starts. And what's great, once it starts by summarizing for you. It's going to tell you what you asked for and tells you what it's going to build. So we can see there it says, I'll create a simple web application that calculates a person's age based on their birthday. I'll use Python for the back end with Flask, and then now it's telling me what the front end stack is going to look like. I didn't specify that because I didn't know, but it's now deciding HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And then it's going to tell me every file it's going to create. Now it's saying what the project structure is going to look like. If you see that question that says, allow this action, use T to trust, or to trust this tool for the session, just a bit about that. If you say T to trust, it means for everything that it's going to do from this point on, it's going to assume that you trust it. So it's not going to keep saying to you, I'm going to do this. Do you want me to do that? You said you trust from the beginning, so it's just going to do what it thinks it's best. We advise that you don't do trust for production environment. When you're doing a dev, when you're testing, you could do trust. And also what I wanted to show with this is that there's been so many conversations around, are we losing our jobs because of this? All this with Q talking to you, it shows that it still needs you in the loop. So I'm not gonna do trust because I want to keep seeing what it's going to say back to me. So I said no. And then it says, I think I should have done trust there because, oh, it's gonna try something else. It's going to try something else. So see, it's already starting to generate some code for me. You can see the back end already, what it's going to create. So it's asking me, do I trust it? And now this time I'm gonna say, yes, I trust, because from what I've seen, from what it's generating, I'm happy with that. And now it's telling me about the shell commands that it will run to get going with all of this again. Do I trust? And I'm gonna say yes. So it now starts to build the directory structure that it needs for the project. So you can see throughout all of this, you are allowed to interrupt, you're allowed to redirect what it's going to do. And I think that's a great thing. I would say if you're on the call and you said you're ready to build and maybe you've done all the installations, you're welcome to, while I'm doing this demo, to start building your own thing that you want to build in the interest of time. So then maybe this demo can be for those who are not ready to build today. So now it's starting to generate all the other files that we need to create this full app. Okay, where you're seeing the errors here is because the files that needs to be created, they already exist in the structure of my directory that I'm running this in, and that's why it's saying that. And what's good is that it actually does try to fix an error if there is an error, but sometimes you need to step in as well and be involved. So it's still going through creating all the files that we need. And so far, I'm not seeing anything that I want to change or redirect. So I'm just letting it. See, now it's creating my README. So it's created, it looks like it's finished now, because when it does this, it's done. So it's already finished, and it's telling me the structure that is created, and it's summarizing the application that it created and how to run it. So the application, it's finished. So now we actually will be able to test it here. So just summarizing on what it built. It did a back end for me, which is a Flask application that serves the web interface, and it will. So the logic is being handled there, and then it did a a front end where it allows the person to pick the date, and there will be some error handling if the input in the front end is not correct. And then it did some styling with CSS. And then now it's telling me how to run the application. There are installations and dependencies that are your responsibility as you are the software developer to install, and some commands that Q will run themselves. What Q also does is that there are some changes to your environment that Q will not do. Even if you say, please run this for me, Q will still say, no, I want you to run that because that's your environment. And I think that's also quite a great thing. So let me quickly go and do the installation and then of the requirements, and then so that we can start to run this and then see what we get. Okay, also I need to be, okay, let me open a new tab. I don't want to write PowerShell. Command prompt. Okay. Where am I running this? Okay. Command provided. Oh, okay. So it will actually help me install the requirements for the age. So it's done that. So after we've done that, okay, so it's done the installation. There's nothing for me to install after running this command. Okay, let's try to run it and see what we get. And if you pick up anything that I'm missing here, let me know so that we can troubleshoot this faster. Okay, it looks like we're good. Let me get the URL and see if the app is there. Ah, okay. Back here. Control. Okay. Okay. It's still saying site can be reached. That's why I keep running that command. Maybe there's a time delay. Okay. So see, I'm getting an error that I can't resolve. So I am coming back and I want it now to help me with troubleshooting. Let's see what it says. So you can see how it does the troubleshooting, and it's going to tell me exactly everything that I'm not doing and everything that's causing me to have the error. I'll go back now and read through all of it. Okay, so I didn't start the server. Do you see here? It is saying that I didn't start the server. So once I start the server, I should try and access again on my browser, try and access the site and then see what happens. So let me start the server and then see, and then we'll see where we get. Okay, let me ask, because so you see the different types of exchange you can have with it. And that's why we've been saying, even for someone who wants to start from scratch and you want to figure out how to start coding and maybe even learn a new language, this could be another way that you start to do that. So the first time when I tried to do that, I was not running it in my environment, and then it told me. Now we can actually go and see what I was doing wrong. So let me go to PowerShell and run that. Oh, open there. Okay. Let me go to my command line. And on the call, if you see anything, I think my paths are not correct. If you see anything on the call, let me know. And has anyone on the call started to build themselves? Anything? Anyone who's building? Adeline, are you here? Is anyone here?
Yeah, we are here. Very soon.
Okay. What am I missing? You can see I don't always do this anymore. According to Windows, I'm on Windows. Okay, let me see.
Like, you don't need to run the commands, tell the server and the CMD.
Okay. Kevin, what do you mean? Could I tell it instead of explaining the process to do it for me? What do you mean?
Since you're on the Q chat prompt, you can tell it now. Could you just do what you just told me, and you see whether it's going to now go to the CD, to the Python, or something like that.
Okay, let me ask it. And is anyone else building, or am I the only one right now? No one. I'm asking it to run it for me. Okay. It might come back, and this is where I said earlier on that there are things it won't do, and there are stuff that it will do for me. So let's see if it will actually agree with this. See, it says these are commands that I need to execute myself. And that's the part where I talked about sometimes you get control and sometimes it will do some things for you, but especially when there are changes to your environment, it won't do it. It will ask you to do that yourself because it does not want to mess too much with your environment. And that's been the other great thing. So I need to go and troubleshoot this. I'm going to stop sharing for now so that I can read everything, step through it. But if any of you are building anything, please will you tell us, maybe even in the chat, and then let us know what you're building. If you've had any idea of something to build, let us know. Okay. And also, if you have any questions from what you read earlier on, let me know your questions. Okay, this is better because now it says it can't find my path. It's better than the error from before. So I probably didn't create that directory earlier on. Could be why. Adeline, we might need to just close this out here. You've got until 5, right?
Yes, we have like 5 minutes to go.
Okay. And that's why my other colleagues don't do these live builds anymore. It's like, oh, not with people watching. They refuse to do them. They refuse. Okay. Okay. While I'm trying to finish this off, can anyone tell me any takeaways that you got out of this? Was there any value for you? Could you see how to get started? Because for me, the value that I see is that I can get going pretty fast. I mentioned earlier on that I don't know any front end technologies, but I can build a full stack app and in minutes. And so you can start with your first iteration and then you can add features from there. The troubleshooting that you can do inside Q, and Q will guide you and direct you. I've done a build before where it got so confusing that I ended up typing that I'm so confused, I'm stuck, I don't know what's going on, can we start from scratch? And Q did that, and then we started from scratch again. And then we actually got to the finished product in the end. So I've found those to be quite valuable. And people who say they want to learn a new language, they want to see what it would be like to build with something they've not done before. There's been value in that as well. So can anyone on the call let me know of any takeaways that you've seen? Anybody? I'm going to pick names. Bernard, can you let us know? Is there anything that was valuable that you picked up out of this?
Hi.
Hi.
Uh, so something I picked up is how fast it can be to get started. Let's say I have an idea. So in terms of a prototype, I can develop it very fast. So yes.
That's great. Thank you so much for that, Bernard. That's really spot on. Kevin, I see your comment there. Yeah. At night when the demo was asleep, what was I thinking? Let me see other comments that are there. Yes, the step-by-step interaction, Wesley, that's really spot on, and I love that. And chances are, if there were not 36 people on the call, I would have read carefully through all the instructions, but I'm like browsing through it now, so I'm missing things. Yes, that's really very valuable for debugging. The debugging, Matt, you're right, the debugging is a very good feature. I'm going to finish this off. Probably you'll see me post it on LinkedIn sometime. Please come, I will finish it off. And let me see who else has a comment there. Thank you for your comment, Wesley. And Matt, the debugging, thank you for that. Yeah, I struggle with debugging as well. And like I said, I don't write code every day anymore. Back then when I used to write code. So this has been very good for me. Another comment from Simi, you are looking, that Quack the Code challenge. Adeline, maybe some on the call don't know about it. This is a very good idea for this. So you can actually do this for that Quack the Code challenge. Definitely try Simi, try and submit a project, and you can use this for that. And Kevin, you said you love the fact that it tells you where the commands are. Then what is for you to run and what is for Q to run. And then I see David says, never use Amazon Q, but you get insights on how to get started. I'm happy about that. And I want to hear what you guys build. And Crispinas, you've learned to set up Amazon Q and Whistle. and how to build up applications with Amazon Q. That's amazing. So that's great. I think there was value then, although I couldn't finish my demo. I think there was value, and I will finish my demo. You can tell that I was flying overnight. I just arrived home this morning. So definitely will finish that off, and I will share that on LinkedIn, and you guys can take a look, and we can talk about it further. And then, yeah, Wesley, that's great. You just did a whole React Native app. Yeah, that's what it's about. And I am so happy that you saw value, and I am so happy that you're engaging. I don't normally get this much engagement from when talking to folks, especially online. So I'm really happy about this. Thank you so much for that. And I see another comment from maybe if I missed your comment, another. I might have missed some comments here. Thanks for sharing that challenge, Simi. That's great. Yeah, this is great. And that's what today was all about, for you all to see the art of the possible. And it looks like you are seeing the art of the possible. I'm really happy about that. I want to see what you build. If you enter that challenge, please tag me as you go through it. I haven't read through it to get all the detail, but please, when you enter the challenge, please tag me. I'd love to follow up and then just before we step off, I wanna, Crispinas, are you on the call? Impact Africa, your hand is up.
Oh, sorry, that's me, Mark.
Yes.
Orina. Yeah, I've been listening in. I haven't been able to finish the challenge itself, or essentially just setting up Amazon Q. But hopefully, I can get rid of my Notion document, because I have different commands that I use, especially for stacks that I don't know, for instance, like Node and stuff like that. So hopefully, with Amazon Q, I can put the Notion document aside, and hopefully it can be completing it for me. Hopefully. So, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And keep us posted about that. I think I'm going to leave it there, Adeline. I think people did get what we were looking to show, the art of the possible. Then you can go off on your own and then finish it off. The lead developer advocate for this Q content, he always, when he does his live shows, his live demos, he says he gets there and he tells them that this might not work, so that when it doesn't work, he's like already prepared them that it might not work. So, and just, I'm going to check 2 more questions and then I'm going to close out, Adeline. And someone has asked me, they've never used Q before, or now they see, yeah, you can create a free tier for sure. You'll be able to do quite a lot with free tier. And someone is asking about Cursor. I haven't tried Cursor yet. Definitely, I won't be going into detail on Cursor's pricing, because that's not our product. Definitely, I won't be allowed to compare those here. And okay, I see a lot of people talking about Cursor, and I know about Cursor, but try this and try Cursor and come back and tell me what you think. I'm really very curious to have that. Please try the 2 next to each other and come back and tell us. Maybe you can do a demo here of using Cursor and using Q. We can do that as well. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, Adeline. This was great. Thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you for the engagement. This was so much fun, even with my demo not working. It shows that I still need to go and get some sleep, because I don't sleep on these overnight flights. So thanks for that. Adeline, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you, everyone who has attended from the community. It has been great to have you all here. Thank you for the interactive session. And I hope that we'll post something come next week of what we have worked on during this weekend. Maybe we can turn on our videos and then take a screenshot. Yeah. Anyone willing to turn on their videos?
Before everyone disappears, let's do a quick photo. Let's see, they all run.
And
How many people are on there?
so far we have 33 people.
Oh, not bad. And yeah, so some cameras are on. It's good.
Okay.
Tell us when so we can smile.
Okay, let's smile. Okay, I think we are good to go. Yeah, so just heads up, there's in June we are planning to have a community day for the year. So it's going to be a physical event. And so far we have a call for speakers ongoing. I think it's closing in the next 2 days or so. And also be on the lookout, we'll be having call for volunteers. If at all you're willing to volunteer to be part of the community, you are welcome to help the day, just to help us bring everyone on board. So it's going to be a 1-day event full of everything, and we are glad to have everyone on board on that day. So be on the lookout of any advertisements around the community day this year. Yeah, thank you, and have a lovely evening and a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.